If you remember when Mr. Trump first got in, he launched SpaceX and Space Age up there, and he put the biggest satellite up there. Well, it caught all the votes that were pinged up from him and sent back to Earth for Biden. They got all that. They got it all.
What? Where's this information from? What's up, guys? Nuance Bro checking in. We're here at the first Trump rally in Ohio since he's been president. See you clapping. And let's go talk to people, see what's going on. So why are we out here today?
Because Trump is coming.
All right, and I see you're a Trump supporter.
Yes, I am.
What do you like about Trump? Like, what are some policies or legislative agendas that he's passed that you were very supportive of?
Well, the first thing I like is that he was the first politician in my lifetime to ever do what he said he was going to do. And he built up the military, which was important. He cares about the military. He cares about the veterans. He cares about the American middle class. And he does everything he can to make America great.
Sure. And what are some of those legislative agendas, like, you know, those promises that he kept legislatively?
I'm disappointed that they couldn't do the health care because, the thumbs down thing, But I like his tax reform that he did. I like what he did with the veterans being able to go to a hospital outside of the veterans hospital if they need care. I like what he did for child credit and stuff, and for when giving the guys an opportunity to also take time off when their children are born. And
is there anything he did that you weren't so supportive of?
No. No. Well, yeah. That he didn't get rid of the people that I thought he should have, in the FBI and the DOJ and stuff when it was just a bunch of bull.
Do you think he would have if he could have?
I'm not sure.
What do you think was holding him back there?
Bad advice from people surrounding him.
That he put in there?
Yeah.
And what do you think about his, during the pandemic, he did Operation Warp Speed. Were you a big supporter of that?
Yes, I was.
Did you get your vaccine as well?
I did. I didn't really want to, but I did.
Okay. And what do you think about, a lot of Trump supporters are not very pro-vaccine, despite, Trump very much pushing the vaccines and Operation Warp Speed. What do you think about that?
I'm not really sure why they're like that. I mean, I'm a baby boomer, and we were the generation that did all those vaccines and did all the trials and took the sugar cube for polio and stuff. So I think maybe people were just afraid because it happened so quickly, and that typically it doesn't happen like that in our country.
So why are we out here today?
Well, I'm here to see Trump speak.
And you're a big supporter of Trump?
Yeah.
That's that was like 40. What does that mean? XLV 10 or is that 45? 45. There we go. I was like, wait, I thought it was 43 for a second for some reason. No, that was not. That was.
What I have that for. That's to sort out the smart ones, right?
Yeah, I was thinking 43, but that was Bush. So okay. So what are some things that Trump did that you were very supportive of, like legislatively?
Legislatively.
Yes.
Well, he did a lot of things. I mean, black colleges, old black universities and stuff like that.
That's a big issue for you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm from near Jackson, Tennessee, and there's a lot of that's important to me. My ancestors fought for the North. They were Republican ever since the day of Lincoln.
Welcome the next congressman from Ohio's 16th.
So, I mean, I don't know what else to say, It's important. It's historical to me, and it's it's important. Either way, I mean, there's many things that, he's leaned against that I've been happy with. So I don't know where you want me to go with that, but...
What do you think about certain legislative, not legislative, but what some of the agendas during the pandemic, like Operation Warp Speed?
Well, I mean, obviously that was good. It speeded up this antivirus, or whatever it is. The vaccine, yeah.
Did you get your vaccine?
No.
Why is that?
Did you get yours?
I did, actually.
No, I didn't get mine.
Why is that?
Well, I'm not that confident in it yet. We'll see.
Even though Trump was like pushing it and he was like, yo, get your vaccine, it's safe, Operation Warp Speed, this is something that we were very big about.
And my doctor too says do it. Everybody says do it. I haven't done it yet.
So we're at this bus. It's a Q Sent Me bus. You can see it out here in the front. And it's a Q Sent Me bus, but it's a short bus. Q bus, but it's a short bus. It has to be a troll. It's got to be a troll, I swear. What does that say? So why are we out here today?
I'm from here, so this little town of Wellington doesn't always get events like this. So I'm just kind of excited for something like this for Donald Trump, the president, to come out and see us.
And you're a big supporter of Trump?
Yeah, I would think myself a Trump supporter, yeah.
And what are some things he's done legislatively that you were a big fan of?
Well, I did like his foreign policy. I liked how he handled the Middle East. I like how he handled the Korea situation. I liked our energy dependence. I thought that what he was doing in order to get us to that point was pretty cool, from my viewpoint.
As far as what he did in the Middle East, like what were you a big fan of there?
Well, I mean, the peace deals between Israel and the surrounding countries, I mean, that's a region that's been at war since Bible times. So it's crazy to think of like those groups of guys getting together and just saying, well, let's just not do that.
And it was a couple of countries that historically haven't really like warred with Israel, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, Israel's not like just one man by himself. So it hasn't always been, at least.
But legislatively, like things he's like passed through Congress and signed into law, and you know that you felt like were good for the country. What are some examples of that?
Well, I don't know the names, but I directly benefited from some of the tax cuts that he gave. So like I was working at Walmart at the time as just an hourly associate, and the second he passed that, I got like $1 an hour raise. So stuff like that directly affected me. That was stuff that I appreciated.
And as far as the 2024 race, are you looking for Trump to run again? Is there anybody else in the race that you would maybe want to support more, or if he didn't run, somebody that you have an idea for?
Well, with Trump specifically, it would just depend, because I mean that's 4 years from now. He'll be what, almost 80 years old by then. So if he's up 3 years, or well, yeah, 3 years. Sorry. But yeah, I mean by that time he'll be almost 80 years old. So if he's physically up for it, I would support him in that. But I wouldn't mind a number of guys like DeSantis, for instance. I think he's done a good job with how he's run Florida, and I mean they had very good numbers with their COVID, despite being such a high senior population there.
And an open state and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like the kind of guy that I would support if Trump doesn't decide to run in 2024. But again, we'll have to see how he feels, because again, you can't put somebody in office that isn't going to be there for the whole term, just because of their health.
So one of the things that Trump pushed was Operation Warp Speed. This was to get the vaccines out quickly.
Right, yeah.
He was saying we were going to get it out by the end of the year, and everyone's like, oh, that's impossible. He ended up getting it done.
Right.
Were you a supporter of that?
I don't know. I haven't been vaccinated just because I don't feel like I have enough information about the vaccine. The fact that the FDA goes in front of people and says we don't have any recent plans to approve any COVID vaccines that are on the market today, that just kind of weirds me out. I'm not totally anti-vax, just with the COVID vaccine, I just want more information. I don't know if I feel like everything to do with Project Warp Speed was necessarily right, because obviously, the FDA is kind of our gold standard in terms of whether or not something is safe for us to put in our bodies. But I appreciate the fact that the people, and I mean, Democrats were also trying to help certain aspects of that, trying to get a vaccine out. So I appreciate the politicians in office that realized that there was a problem and did what they could to try to make a solution.
So, but it doesn't give you confidence when Trump takes the vaccine himself and tells people, like, go get the vaccine, it's safe, effective, all that stuff?
Well, I mean, stuff like that helps. I just don't have, I haven't taken a vaccine that isn't FDA approved. I just never have. So, it helps build confidence in your base when you do stuff like that. Just me personally, though, I just didn't personally see enough to take it myself.
By the way, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell for future videos. So why are we out here today?
To see Trump and to stand up for all the Republicans, the good Republicans that are running for office.
You're having trouble right now because they're not showing him on the screen, right?
Yeah, we wanted to see him. We aren't getting to see him for some reason.
So what are some reasons that you support Trump?
Everything that he did was so great for our country. He solved so many problems and helped all the people of the United States. And kept the people out of the country that were illegals, helped all the minorities and the black people, helped with jobs, helped the veterans, helped with jobs, you name it. He was a great president.
What's a specific like legislative agenda that he passed or got through that you were very supportive of?
I wasn't ready for this. I have to think for a minute. Not that I don't have an answer, but I want to really think of the best answer. They put them on there. Good.
So many people
Good.
said, please, you're going to Ohio.
I would say
I don't know the fact that I'm going to Ohio, why they want.
jobs and helping out for the minorities in the country.
I mean, like, is there a specific piece of legislation you're referring to that did that, or?
I don't know what number it is, so that I couldn't tell you.
Sure.
But
And as far as like, for example, he was very big on this Operation Warp Speed. I'm sure you remember. Was that something that you were very supportive of?
I'm going to take the fifth on that one.
No.
I think he's done a great job all the way around with everything, including, what went on with the COVID-19, but he's just a great president.
But you don't support Operation Warp Speed that he was pushing?
It's not that I don't support it, but I just have my own feelings about that, and I don't need to.
Even though he took the vaccine and he's telling his supporters to take.
I don't need to say why. I don't. It's my right not to say why. Sure. All right.
So why are we out here today?
Because this man brought our country back to its foundings, and the man currently in office was never elected to start with, and his policies are going to kill our country. He is listening to incredibly inexperienced people who don't understand. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sure. I mean, Biden obviously is notorious for being experienced, having like decades in the Senate, whereas Trump was known as this person who was like the newcomer who had no experience whatsoever, right?
Right. However, 47 years of milking the taxpayers is not the same as someone who understands what trade and work and building something requires. This man knew, and he's also a patriot. He believes that there are good things in America, and apparently 167 other nations or so agree with him, because that's where all the immigrants are coming from.
And you talked about how Biden and his policies are going to destroy this nation. What are some of those policies that you fear that he's enacted?
Well, to start with, the pipeline, it is essential that we have some kind of independence in industry and in fuel. It feeds us. Tractors run on gas, even if cars can zoom around on nothing. You're in an area that would be just shut down without gas. These huge vehicles which take which put our food in the ground cannot run on batteries. It takes a battery from the bumper to the bumper on a Prius to get it down the road. This was not going to work, and we will not have food. And these people who have been yanked around again and again and again are someday going to quit, and you're going to be at the mercy of cooperative farms, and they don't care if you eat or not.
And other than like fuel, is there anything else? Like, so he's anti-pipeline. Is there anything else that you think he's doing that's very destructive?
Well, today, HR 1, SRS 1. It's unconstitutional. The states are given the right the right to regulate their own voting. We hardly need someone who will put it at a federal level, and then it's...
Do you think the Voting Rights Act, back when it was passed back in the day, was also unconstitutional?
Which voting rights?
The Voting Rights Act, I think it was passed.
60s? Yeah. No, I don't.
But that was on the federal level, dictating to the states how they should, protect the right to vote.
This goes way beyond that, and it appoints a committee.
Ohio jobs just like I did.
Yes.
Remember in Lima? You remember they were...
I am very much in favor of everyone voting. However, everyone seems to be able to do most everything they want to do with an ID. The only thing they can't do is vote? Crazy. And I'm sorry. I wish I'd known you were coming.
Oh, no, it's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So why are we out here today?
To support our real President Trump. That's why we're here.
And why do you support Trump?
Because he's the best thing that ever happened to America. He's brought us out of a hole. He made America great, and he can do it again. He's coming back.
Are you're hopeful for a 2024 run?
He'll be back before that.
Oh, you think so? You think he's gonna? When do you think, if you had to bet money right now, when do you think Trump?
August.
You think by the end of August he's going to be back in the White House as president?
Friends that are military, ex-military. General Flynn even was on the YouTube channel, and he did say, believe that he will be back by the end of August.
So if
now, I believe General Flynn, okay, because the military is going to have to put him back in.
So if
and
we
get all the oligarchs and the cheaters and the backstabbers out of there. They're all going to be tried for treason. Yeah.
So if we had to make a bet right now, $100, I say he's not back in by the end of August. You say he is. Would you take that bet?
Absolutely.
Oh man, I got to give you my email. We got to make this happen because I will make that bet with you right now.
Absolutely.
All right. And so if that doesn't happen, like, how does that shift your worldview or how you view things? Like, if that does not happen, what happens next?
I still believe in that man. I still believe that the good people of Ohio. I'm from Pennsylvania. I drove all the way from Pittsburgh, okay, to come here. I seen him in Pittsburgh last.
You guys left him behind in this most recent election. Ohio gave it to him though.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Pennsylvania cheated. Georgia cheated, Arizona cheated, and they're finding all that out now. There's a lot of in-depth searching going on with the votes. They're bringing them all to light.
They're doing the Arizona audit. Is that what you're?
Here's what I heard from a very good military friend of mine, and I'm ashamed to say this because I am Italian. Okay, the Pope and his Leonardo satellites up in space. If you remember when Mr. Trump first got in, he launched SpaceX and Space Age up there, and he put the biggest satellite up there. Well, it caught all the votes that were pinged up from him and sent back to Earth for Biden. They got all that. They got it all.
What? Where's this information from?
Mm-hmm.
They're sending votes to space?
They sent the votes to Italy and Berlin.
For what?
Well, they shot them up there, and then they brought them back as Biden's.
Why are they sending votes up to satellites?
Because they had to do it some way that wasn't so suspicious. But he caught them in the act. And here's what I want you to
mention this in this speech. He's going to talk about the satellites and the votes.
He won't do that. This is a secret. You might want to edit that, okay? I don't know if you want to put all that on there, but
I think the people deserve to know.
Well, here's what they deserve to know. They deserve that God is Lord. He believes in him, and he will not forsake us, okay? God will not forsake America. He will not. We are all his people. We love the Lord, and we know that President Trump loves the Lord. So if he's with us, who can be against us?
There you go.
Putin, Iran, Iraq, they're all big liars, and so is a lot of other people. You know, Kamala doesn't know what she's doing at all. Can you imagine if they pulled Biden out like they're talking about pulling him out now because he's incoherent and he doesn't know what he's doing, or about tomorrow or the next day, and she becomes president? What if something doesn't go right with her? Then who's president? Nancy. Nancy's crazy.
Well, I guess we'll find out in August, right?
I guess you will.
All righty. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Come here, Joseph. This is my husband.
How you doing, Joe?
Now you gotta tell me with the YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you look up Nuance Bro on YouTube.
Nuance Bro.
Here's what's in my mind. If they go for another year the way Biden is running this country, we're done before the end of this year. Something's got to happen drastically before the end of this year.
He's giving us all away.
All right, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Social media links are in the description box below, as well as merch. Support us at nuancebro.com/join, and I'll see you next time. Bro.